We will try to understand why Raila went for Miguna Miguna twice. We'll try to understand why he went for Miguna Miguna twice. Some of these things we did not know when he was alive. Thanks to people like Onyango. Is it Dennis Onyango, the pressman, and the lawyer Paul Mwangi? They are giving us bits of stories which are making us understand Agwambo more and more. We must appreciate them. As I said, we want to know why Raila went for Miguna twice. First, when he went to Canada and picked an individual who was not even known in his Ahero home village. Before Raila brought in Miguna Miguna, I'm very sure that even people of Ahero, where Miguna Miguna comes from, would not have known Miguna Miguna. By the way, do you know why Miguna Miguna puts on the Arabic kofia? We jamaa kona kihara. I can tell you, if he removes that Arabic kofia and walks around, even members of his family will not know him. That is why he's always having it, to cover his kipara. How many people can say that they knew Miguna Miguna before the coalition government of 2007? Very, very few. Only people like Wafula Buke, because they were in the university at the same time. I say they in the university because during my time, there used to be only one university, University of Nairobi, and Kenyatta University College was a constituent college of University of Nairobi. On one hand, I have previously blamed Raila for bringing in people who later turned against him. Well, I have watched a video where Paul Mwangi, Raila's main lawyer, says how on the two occasions only Miguna Miguna was fit for the job, or only Miguna Miguna would sail through rough ride. The first time of the two occasions, Raila appointed him as the Prime Minister's legal aid or constitutional aid. Do you remember the instances where he had his door written PS? He appointed himself PS. On matters of coalition, both Kibaki and Raila had a specific lawyer each to coordinate and ascertain that his side is not surcharged. Now, the lawyer on the side of Kibaki, whose name I have forgotten, was appointed as a PS, but Miguna wasn't appointed. You see, that is where the problem was. So, I think the same lawyer was later appointed as an ambassador. Miguna's feeling, which most likely was shared by Raila and his group, was that to show equality, even him, he should be appointed a PS. Just like there's a meeting between two provinces, one province sends an RC, regional commissioner, and the other province sends a county commissioner. You see, they are not equal, isn't it? Then there was the government meetings, especially cabinet meetings. You see, Kibaki was the head of state. And in addition to being head of state, he was a co-head of government. Raila was the co-head of government, but not head of state. So in meetings such as cabinet meetings or any other government issues, they are supposed to have the same power. They were supposed to have the same powers. So in such meetings, Miguna would insist that the head of that the head of the table, at the head of the table be two chairs, reflecting that there are two heads of government. According to Paul Mwangi's view, in the recent interview, Miguna was the necessary evil. Was the necessary evil because Raila had foreseen a situation where he could be short-charged, So he brought in Miguna Miguna to counter those people. According to Paul Mwangi in the recent interview, Miguna was the necessary evil, and then there came out the fallout. It came out the fallout in 2013. Their political paths separated. At that time, Miguna was an expired product. That is where most people don't know. You should know your expiry date and move on. But some people like Miguna Miguna feel that since they played a part in whatever, you have to be part of it. Then Miguna Miguna wanted to be the Nairobi governor. He wanted to be the Nairobi governor. That is the time when he wrote a book about Raila, peeling something about Raila. Now, he then wrote a book. Mwangi says that brought tension in the Raila camp, but eventually Raila didn't sue Miguna Miguna. That was 2013. Then fast forward to the other election. The people on Raila's side felt that the elections were stolen. You remember the people's president. The people on Raila's side felt that the election was stolen. Two sides had a more common problem, came together. Two sides had a more common problem and they came together. Miguna Miguna feeling was that even though he was an independent candidate, he felt that Raila had won the election and Raila's win was stolen. Here was now a problem. Who was bold enough to foresee? Who was the bold enough to pretend the Uhuru Park swearing in? Of course, we know TJ Kajwang was there and whatever, but TJ Kajwang assisted Miguna Miguna. Miguna Miguna was so bold that he took the problem head on. Very, 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 very few people would be bold enough to do so. So Raila turned to Miguna. Lastly, I believe that the people like Miguna and Wamunyororo have one problem. People like Miguna and Rigathi have one problem. Even though they are bold, they go against the tide. Remember, Wamunyoro went against Uhuru Kenyatta. So they are very bold and they go against the tide. Even though they are bold, they think that once they assist a leader go through the hard time, they now think that they are the Ayatollah. They think that they are Ayatollah. For those of you who do not know Ayatollah, Ayatollah is in Iran. Although in other countries we have Ayatollahs. Ayatollahs is like a pope or something like that. But in Iran, Ayatollah is the person who is above the president. He can disqualify anybody and he can even overrule the president without explaining. So people like Miguna Miguna and Geoffrey Rigathi think that after assisting somebody to become the president, they become an Ayatollah. Yes, today's environment is not like the Njonjo Moi environment. But that doesn't mean that you give the president a car and remain with a logbook. I've just mentioned about Moi and Jonjo. Jonjo played in fact, for Moi to be the president, I would say that Jonjo played 70% single-handedly, played that role. But then again, when Moi became the president, he wanted to overrule, or he wanted to be another Ayatollah. But the environment in those days is quite different from the environment of today. So Miguna Miguna and Wamunyoro have this belief that once they assist you to be the king, then they have given you the car keys and the car itself, but retained the logbook. I want also to add that it is quite encouraging. So far, if my count is not wrong, so far 2 people have come out clear. Dennis Onyango, the pressman, and Paul Mwangi, the lawyer. You can see they are disclosing a lot of things we are learning without hurting, without going against Agwambo and his family. What we would say, or what I would say, is that I would appeal to those people who are close to Agwambo to kindly inform us so that we appreciate the individual a lot. If you see the interview that these 2 people are talking, it is very, very much educative. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless our country, Kenya.